Yes, thank you, President Kellogg. I pull this item to just note and commend our staff for putting this together. I have to tell you, I wasn't expecting it to be ready so soon, so fast. So, Ms. Gable, thank you, and President Oakley, thank you, and to your teams. This is exactly what I was looking for, and the descriptions are there. It's itemized, and I'm very happy to see this. So, I just wanted to commend you and our staff for doing it.
At this time, can I entertain a motion to approve? There's no other questions.
So
from the board
moved.
to approve item 12.4.12. Motion by trustee Zia.
Second.
Second by trustee Otto. Madam Secretary, you ready to call the roll on item 12.4.12?
I'm ready.
Madam Secretary, the roll, please.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing, all the information that is in here at our fingertips. Actually, too much information right now.
For
We're
some.
now to item 5.1. This is the revised salary structure classifications exempt from the merit system. This is an action item. The recommendation is that the Board of Trustees approve the revised exempt salary schedule. The job titles of professional expert, quote unquote, has been added to the exempt salary schedule. I do not believe there's any comments from Vice President or Academic Senate on this item at all?
No.
From anyone? Then I'll entertain a motion to approve this item. Members of the board?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Zia, second by trustee Archuleta. No other questions, comments at this time. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on item 5.1.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6.1, this is the new modified, inactivated, reactivated, and distant learning courses. This is an action item recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the following new, modified, or changed inactive or reactive and distant learning curriculum effective in the 2015. Is that a typo? 2015 to 2015 academic year? I don't know if that's a typo or not. But nonetheless, that is the recommended action. Members of the board, could I entertain a motion on this item?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Zia, motion by trustee Archuleta, second by trustee Zia. Question, comments on this item? Do not believe there's no comments. Again, Vice President, Academic Senate. No comments. Members of the board at this time. Madam Secretary?
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Next item, 6.2, material fees. That the Board of Trustees approve material fees for the specific courses offered in the following departments to cover the cost of materials. The fees will be paid at the time of the registration. I'll entertain a motion to approve this item by members of the board.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Zia,
I'll second.
second by trustee Archuleta. Comments, questions, members of the board at this time? None? Chair recognizes trustee Archuleta.
What is the fee? Do you know what the fee is?
Vice President Wong? Got it?
Okay, on each of these classes, the materials fee was $10, and it's being reduced to $3. And I believe that this is a printing fee for printing in these courses. These are computer courses, so they're actually reducing the fee charged to students. We have a significant number of courses that have materials fees on them, in which cases we provide the students with the product for the charge of the materials fee. So this is a reduction in those fees.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.
Good. Other questions, members of the board this time? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, please call the roll on this item.
Irma Archuleta.
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. 6.3. This is a certificate of accomplishment. Are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve. Members of the board on this item.
So moved.
Approved. Motion by trustee Zia, second by
Excuse me,
trustee
President,
Archuleta. Are we
Second.
all right, Madam Secretary?
Okay, can you give me the motion again?
Motion
Some-
by trustee Zia, second by trustee Archuleta.
Okay, I'm ready.
There's a motion and a second. Members of the board at this time, any questions, comments? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, if you calls the roll on item 6.3.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6.4, Mechanical Maintenance Technology Program. This is that the board approve the revised Associate of Science degree for Mechanical Maintenance Technology Program. Could I entertain a motion to approve item 6.4?
So
moved.
moved.
By trustee Archuleta, second by trustee Zia. Question, comments, members of the board at this time? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on item 6.4.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
and Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6.5. Item 6.5 is the addition to general education plans. The recommended action is the Board of Trustees approve, I'm assuming, HIST, History 9.A, 9B, 9C for Plan A, Social Sciences, submitted to CSU for Plan B areas. I'm not going to read all of this. It's way too technical. But the recommendations for the board to approve these changes put to the addition to the general education plans. Could I entertain a motion to approve item 6.5?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Archuleta,
Second.
second by trustee Zia. Question, comments, members of the board? Just in the future, and I'm only going to say this because I'm looking, what we have in front of us, and I don't know if this will be as we get better with electronic board docs. For the audience, you're looking at that, and we have that in front of our screen, but also if we're working on our iPads, and this general one has a recap and a recommendation. I don't know if that eventually can get posted up there because it has public content, recommended action, the category. It's just actually great information, agenda item details, and then we scroll down, it gets into a lot more documentation. But I don't know if we can do that or not. Yes, so eventually we can, because it's really, it's impressive. So any chance we get an opportunity to be impressive. But we're looking at a lot of material right now, and again, we're trying to learn on the go.
We will keep working on this because you have to toggle back and forth to different items, but we'll figure it out.
I realize, but no, it's so far so good. So it's item 6.5 as a motion and a second as posted. No other comments. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6.6, addition to general educational plans. Again, these are more additions to the general educational plan as posted. I entertain a motion to approve item 6.6 by members of the board.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Zia,
Second.
second by trustee Archuleta. Question, comments, members of the board at this time? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on item 6.6.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
6.6 carries. Item 6.7, honors courses, additions to general educational plans. Similar to the past, a recommendation that the board approve these changes. I'll entertain a motion to approve item 6.7.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Archuleta,
Second.
second by trustee Zia. Question, comments, members of the board at this time? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on item 6.7.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
That motion carries. We're now into Superintendent President report.
Yes, thank you, Board President Kellogg. First of all, sent electronically to the board members, and we will find a place to make it available as part of the trustee website to all of the reports to the board. But so I won't go into all the areas that were in the report. I'll just highlight a couple of things that have come up recently. First of all, I want to thank all the members of the board trustees who attended the League Legislative Conference. As always, it's good information at the beginning of the legislative session to get a sense for what is happening to community colleges with regard to pending legislation in the budget. We had the opportunity to meet with several members that represent our district and had the pleasure to continue to carry the message about what's important to our students here at Long Beach City College. So I want to thank all the board members that attended. It was also a pleasure to get approached by at least 5 different districts, trustees from different districts, to compliment Long Beach City College on the great work that we're doing. So that's always a pleasure as well. I also want to thank all the faculty and staff that's working hard to serve our students this winter intersession. We've had thus far a very successful winter intersession, so thank you to everybody in academic affairs and student support services and everybody for taking care of our students and for giving them one more opportunity to get closer to their educational goals. I want to take a moment to thank the Long Beach Police Department. We had, unfortunately, a bomb scare about a week and a half ago, and both Long Beach PD and our entire emergency response team here at the college did an outstanding job. I think it might have been John Pope's first or second day, so we immediately threw him right into the fire, so to speak. Fortunately, it was there was no bomb, but Long Beach PD reacted very quickly, very swiftly, and very thoroughly. So I just want to take a moment to thank them for all their efforts. I had a great pleasure of cutting the ribbon with several members of the Board of Trustees and faculty and staff earlier today at the Pacific Coast campus on the newly renovated multidisciplinary academic building. As I mentioned at the ribbon cutting ceremony, we were there not to celebrate a new building or a newly modernized building, but we were there to celebrate the great opportunities that are being created for our students in that part of Long Beach. So I want to thank everyone who was involved with that. And I particularly want to call out Donna Coates. For those of you who were there this morning, you know why. Donna, in the middle of my speech, came out yelling for the police, which takes a little bit of courage, first of all. But she literally scared the pants off of a thief who was trying to steal some television monitors, and we were able to secure the television monitors. And I just want to take the opportunity to thank Donna for doing something about it, which is not easy to do. So that's all I have.
All right, next item, academic affairs,
I have no report.
student support services.
Go right ahead, Dr.
All right,
Peterson.
so I can go ahead on 9.1?
Go ahead.
All right, very good. This is item 9.1. This is a recommended action. The board approves the 2015-16 and 2016-17 academic calendars. This was developed by the committee, including administrators, faculty, and members of the classified staff. All constituent groups were represented according to the district policy, and each calendar had 175 hours of instruction as required by Title V. So nonetheless, if there's if there's a motion and a second on the floor, and then we can look for any discussion on this item to approve the 2015-16 and 16-17 academic calendars. Members of the board, motion and a second, please.
So move.
Motion by trustee Zia,
Second.
second by trustee Archuleta. Are there any comments on the academic calendars? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, if you could please call the roll on item 9.1.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're now to administrative services, and I'll begin with item 10.1. This is the 2014-15 mid-year budget performance. This is an informational item. So at this time, President Oakley.
And I will turn it over to Vice President Gable.
Vice President Gable.
Thank you, President Oakley. In your handouts, and I think for the very first time, we're trying to project it here on the slide, so bear with us as I scroll through. But we have our mid-year budget performance report. So what this is representing, it shows the adopted budget that the board adopted back in September for the 14-15 fiscal year. The current budget, and that's the budget as of December 31st, that takes into account all budget revisions that have been made since the budget was adopted. The actual revenues and expenditures that have been received and incurred as of December 31st, 2014, and then we have our projected year-end column for 2014-15. The last two columns represent the variance, basically the change between the current budget and the projected year-end amounts. And so what I will be doing is going over the reasons behind the changes between the current budget and the projections. So here on the first page, this is our revenue from the unrestricted general fund. And I don't have a pointer, but for the state apportionment, you'll see that the current year state apportionment, if you look at the subtotal line for the current budget, it's $100,358,520. Our projected year-end amount for state apportionment is $100,144,158 for a projected decrease in revenue of about $214,362. The reason behind this decrease in revenue is we've had a change in our FTES mix, meaning when we prepared our budget, we thought we would be serving more credit FTES courses. When we filed our P1 report in January, in actuality, we're serving more either enhanced non-credit or just straight non-credit courses. So since those are funded at a lower rate in the current fiscal year, there's a little bit of a loss in revenue that's projected. So we're showing that there. The next line item right below that, where it says prior year recalculation, we've received $790,428 due to recalculations from both the 12-13 and 13-14 fiscal year that the state has done. So I think we're all familiar with recalculations going back 1 year. Those recalculations usually come in February. I think the anomaly this year is the state has done recalculations. They're now going back 2 years. So in 12-13, they went back, they changed the deficit factor that was imposed on the community colleges. So the deficit factor decreased to 0.17%. So that's about $187,000 of that change of the 790. And then for the 13-14 year, the Chancellor's Office reduced the deficit factor once again. They reduced it from 1.718% down to 1.096%, and that is about $603,000. So the two of those changes in the deficit factor by the state results in additional revenue of about $790,000 for our district. The next line item there that you see a change, it's a negative $290,421. This is the amount that we will be reimbursing the state for our full-time faculty obligation. When we filed our full-time faculty obligation number in November of 2014, we were 4 full-time faculty below what our obligation number is, and so there is a penalty that we have to pay for that, and that is represented there. So in total, the total state apportionment, taking into account both the current year decrease in revenue and the prior year increases, is an additional $285,645 in state principal apportionment. The next major line item there is the mandated cost reimbursement. So you see that we had originally budgeted $557,452. At this point in time, we're projecting that we're going to receive $1,436,642. We haven't received any of that cash yet, but we're anticipating receiving it hopefully by the end of January, which is coming in just a couple days. But that $879,190 difference is directly related to the additional one-time funds, the $49.5 million that the Department of Finance gave the districts, but they didn't tell us how much we were going to get. And so the Chancellor's Office actually notified us on January 8th that we would be receiving that additional $879,000. So we've shown that here at this point in time. Oops. Okay. Here's where I need to be. So now moving on to page 2, this continues with our revenues. The local revenues, I'll just discuss this in general. Total local revenues at this point in time, we're projecting that we're going to receive $160,621 more than we had originally budgeted. That's primarily related to our non-resident tuition fees. We received more fees than was anticipated. Correspondingly, our full-time equivalent students on our non-residents is up slightly as well as a result of that. So overall, going down to the bottom line there on that page, total revenue and other financing sources, at this point in time, we're projecting that we're going to receive $1,337,111 more than we had originally projected. So that's about a 1% increase in revenues. So now we'll move down onto the next page, which starts our expenditures. And you'll see here that the first grouping of expenditures is our academic salaries. And overall, we're projecting that we're going to spend about $98,652 more in our academic salaries than we had originally budgeted. On the classified salary line item there, you see total classified salaries, we're projecting a savings of $1,138,392. I think the large savings here on the classified salary side is one, a result of vacancies that have occurred throughout the year, and two, a result of the fact that negotiations have not yet been settled with the AFT bargaining unit. Lastly, on this page, the benefits line item is a savings of $456,756. And that is directly a result of the savings in the salaries, since benefits are a percentage of the salaries. Moving down to the next page, really no changes here. It's too early. What we're assuming at this point in time is that all of the departments and divisions are going to spend the budget that has been allocated to them. So that's what we're doing, and that's the reason that you don't see very many variances on this page. The one variance that I would like to point out, you see there that we have a savings in expenditures of $715,600, and that is a result of a savings on our IRS cost related to the voluntary compliance program. I think the board is familiar with, we did settle with the IRS for $715,000 less than we had originally anticipated. So it was, although a difficult situation that we had to go through, I think we were very fortunate that we were able to negotiate down the liability with the IRS to save the district a considerable amount of money. And then the next page, again, this continues on with our expenditures. We, as I mentioned, are projecting that all the departments and divisions are going to continue to spend what has budgeted to them. So overall, our total expenditures and other outgo, there here in the bottom, we're projecting a decrease in expenditures of $2,212,096 for an overall surplus at this point in time of $154,239. So with that, I will conclude the report and open it up to any questions that the board may have.
Members of the board, questions this time? We do have action items behind this supporting these documents. So are there any questions, members of the board, at this time?
Yes.
Chair recognizes Trustee Zia.
Thank you, President Kellogg. So this mid-year budget performance report is really great. So I wanted to commend you, Vice President Gable and Superintendent Oakley. and your budget team, of course. Guys have done a great job in making sure we have a healthy projected surplus, and also our efforts to build up the reserves. Now, in planning for the future, I'd really like to see us, and I want to put a bug in your ear so that it would be great to see more programs and support for restoring the career technical education programs and vocational programs that were needed, or initiating new programs supporting students, and also funding for professional development for our staff and faculty. And this is great news. I really like it. Surplus looks good. And let's apply it to those much needed programs and restoration if possible. Thank you.
Other questions, members of the board? If not, then we'll move on to the next item, which is 10.2. And now we are going to have, from that information, these are the next two items, are an action item, and they are to this item 10.2. 2014-15. This is a form of the 311Q second quarterly financial status report. So the Board of Trustees approve this quarterly financial status report. This is all according to with Title V, and that we're required to do so. So if there's, could I entertain a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Otto,
Second.
second by Trustee Zia. Motion and second. Are there questions on this report to the state of California? Really, the Chancellor's office, is it not? Vice President Gable?
Yes, this will get submitted to the Chancellor's office.
Office with everyone else. No comments, members of the board? Madam Secretary? Are you ready to call the roll?
Ready.
Please call the roll on item 12.2.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
and Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Motion carries. 10.3. This is a resolution, non-resident tuition fees for 2015-16. The recommendation is the Board of Trustees adopt resolution authorizing the non-resident tuition fees for 15-16 beginning with the fall 2015 semester. Again, there's a lot of information on this, but I'll begin with, again, a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Otto,
Second.
second by Trustee Zia. Are there questions, comments on this item? This has to do with student fees and, all right, very good. Madam Secretary, thank you. Please call the roll on item 10.3.
Irma Archuleta,
Aye.
Jeffrey Kellogg,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
and Sunny Zia.
Aye.
10.3 carries. No item, no report for the Pacific Coast Campus, correct, on item 11? And thank you. Item 12, college advancement, economic development, no report. Additional, we've actually had some, but Vice President Bynum, you have nothing? No. Thank you. We're on to reports. Item 13.1, the Academic Senate President. No report? And my apologies, because I was going through the script. Item 13.2, Superintendent President Report. Superintendent President Oakley, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No, I went too early in the agenda.
And that was my fault, because I had it on the script and I didn't realize we were supposed to go by it, so that
That's
was
all
my
right.
apologies.
We just provide oversight. I think the superintendent president's always responsible.
Next item, 13.3, Student Trustee.
So if I may first, I have a quick message from the ASB president. Over the break, we've been planning for the spring semester. This semester, we're focused on getting more students' feedback. In addition, we invite all board members to our ASB leadership retreat on February 6th and 7th. We'd love to have you inspire our new ASB leadership with your wisdom. Thank you, as always, Lokalani Hunt, ASB president. Now for my report.
Thank you very
So-
much.
I want to start off by saying I'm very excited to be working with Superintendent President Oakley, Board President Kellogg, and the Board of Trustees. This next semester will be incredible learning experience for me, and I will try to absorb as much information as I can. I only hope that my cool hairstyle will be able to compete with President Oakley's and President Kellogg's. Oh, and President Otto too, or Board Member Otto too. I would also like to thank.
I'm waiting.
I did, and Board Member Otto. It's pretty cool. I would also like to thank Maya Cardenas, the ADB advisor, and the ASB cabinet members for their constant support. Connie Sears, the Dean of Student Affairs, and Jackie Han for the board secretary for their help this past month. Thank you very much.